Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Matt West with PowerChalk in Cary, North Carolina, and want to send out our very best wishes to all of you joining us today. And in today's session, we're going to talk a little bit about the batting cage business and the academies that some of you joining us today would be running. We'll go through a little bit of how to use PowerChalk for those of you who are familiar with it, but we're going to take it really back to its basics. Then we're going to go a little bit into individualized instruction as well as group instruction and how to use the product. Perhaps also segueing into one of the areas that that you running a facility or an academy may not be paying as much attention to, which is how do you engage the coaches in improving their instruction and using our diagram program to talk about situations from cutoffs and relays to bunt defenses to base running. We'll also cover off on some of the matrix that we have in how to drive revenue for your cage or your academy or your program. And then finally talk about how you can use our fundraising template to incent leagues and help them raise money, and all the while be able to drive traffic back to your facility and create a little bit closer relationship between some of the larger youth baseball and youth softball leagues in your facility. So let's get started and go right in. As you've seen here, if you're looking at your computer, I've gone ahead and I'm in my locker at www.powerchalk.com. Very easy for you to go ahead and sign up for an account. So just to show you, I'll back up out of my locker by logging out. And just to show you how easy it is, if you see the area that says free sign up, we mean what we say. So you have the ability, if you haven't done so already, to go out and sign up for your own free account. And then you can go into the premium features area you see in the menu bar if you wanted to find out how you can add either additional storage or features to your account. But what I'm going to do, since I'm already a member, I'm going to press the sign in button, and it brings up these two fields. And I'm going to pick my email address, and I've already saved my password. And just like that, I've been able to log in, and I'm going to my locker. Now, my locker has a number of different elements in it. The public videos, if you look over the menu bar on the left-hand side, I can pick public videos, I can press my videos, and so if I press my videos, these are the videos that only I have access to and that I have marked private. I can also look at my favorites. Again, I mentioned earlier, we can look at diagrams. When you look at the button that says My Friends, that's really a moniker we use to describe potentially for you coaches at the batting cage and academy level. Those are your students or your players. And my groups could be teams that maybe come and use your facility for instruction. So I'm going to go back into the public video, and notice I brought down one of the menu bars that allows me to choose access to all the videos that are marked public by sport. So I've gone ahead and clicked baseball, which basically means that I have the ability to only have to look through and sort through the baseball videos that are on the public video section. A lot of different ways to use the product. Video analysis has been around since 1951. And quite frankly, for us, it's revolutionized by our product, because now we have the ability to use the telestrator, which if I go up to the top of the menu area, I'm going to go ahead and click on the button that says Telestrate and bring you directly in and show you the telestrator. Very simple to use. If you were to go down to the very bottom button where you see the question mark and make sure that it's clicked, then you can literally scroll over any one of the buttons for a written tutorial of what that button is. You also have a Play Quick Start help video here in the menu screen if you wanted to click a button to show you how to use those tools to your benefit. Very simple to use. Laser pointer, line, box. We tried to keep it very, very simple. Down here on the bottom left of that question marks, you see a printer. At any time when you're doing an analysis session, if you wanted to freeze that one frame and print it out and give a printed copy to that player or that coach, you could do that there. Equally important is you could actually take a snapshot of that particular frame and email it. This allows you to access your microphone when you're doing recorded sessions. And then the wrench represents how you can change your settings. So again, if you happen to be working with a player that was Hispanic and spoke Spanish, you can come up here and you can change your language to Spanish or French or Portuguese, Afrikaans, anything you'd like to better suit that instructional session. I'm going to go ahead and keep English as the language, press OK, and then I'm going to come back in and uncheck the question box down at the bottom. Now, as I mentioned to you, 3 different ways you can use the product. You and the athlete or you and the coach could be in the same room, or you could be in the same room in your academy with many coaches and many players, and you could bring up video and you could mark it up and show it while they're there. The second would be the ability for you to press the record analysis button, which means that you'd be able to be remote in any place where you had an internet signal. You could load videos, mark them up, telestrate them, save them, and send them back and share. Or the revolutionary PowerCast feature, which would allow you to click, if you were the coach, broadcast my screen, and the players or other coaches on the other end of the walkie-talkie would press watch, and then you're, for all practical purposes, controlling their computer screen live, and they can listen to your voice. For today, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to load a video. So I'm going to go up in the upper right-hand corner to where you see Load A, Load Video, and I'm going to go ahead and click, and it takes me out to the menus. I'm going to go ahead and look at I'm going to go down to My Favorites, and I'm going to pick a video of a right-handed pitcher from NC State University, and I'm going to go ahead and load him into the telestrator, and you notice how quickly and easily that was to load. Now again, I can be working with this player in the academy and the batting cage, or I could be working with him remotely, and I can simply drag the playhead. I can grab the A down at the bottom of the screen, and I can put him anywhere I want to in his delivery, and then I can come in and analyze behind it. So if I wanted to talk about how tall he was over the rubber, if we were working on balance, I can draw that line. I can also use the plus or the minus button to take him frame by frame. I can roll the mouse wheel back and forth. I can press play and pause, and then I can come back and erase that markup. So had I chosen the ability to record this session, everything on my markup on that screen and all of the voiceover would be memorialized into a new video. So what you're able to do is take this literally 5-second clip of a delivery and turn it into a 5 to 10 minute telestrated coaching session. Again, all of the tools on the palette are very easy to use, and when you use the tools, and I just drew a line randomly, much like as we human beings use pens and pencils when we're drawing on paper, we go over and we click the tool. So I'm going to click the box, and then I let go with my mouse, come over on the image, click and hold it down, and then draw. So if I wanted to draw a rectangle and focus in on his core and where he may be rotating out of that delivery, and again I can go forward and back. Coming back and undoing what I had done, I'm also going to take you into our text feature, which sometimes if we're working with young kids, it might be helpful to just put one word on the frame to describe what that kid should be focused on. So in this case, if we were working on getting the ball out of the glove properly and having your front arm position correctly, perhaps I'd just want to say good on the screen. Now down below, for you folks that are a little bit more advanced, as I take the text box away, you see these little numbered frames 1 through 10. That's what we call our keyframing program, and I'm going to bring that up to just show you that we have set 10 positions: set, knee high, ball down, land, arm cocked, arm slot, release, extension, arm down, and arm side. And what you do is you can go in and you can preload where these particular frames lie as it relates to that subject matter. So if you notice, knee high is at 29 and ball down is at 47. That describes, again, where that position is in relation to this video. So if I wanted to look at him when he is at knee high, I can click 2 and it automatically takes him there. Very, very important if you're going to go ahead and compare this to another video, and perhaps you want to be really, really focused on one item. Now if you notice, when I loaded slot A slot B appeared. Now this is a premium adder, so those of you who have signed in for your free account, we're not trying to penalize you. What we are telling you that is a premium upgrade that you can go on our upgrade sheet and look at and purchase, but it allows you to load a second video and compare them side by side. So I'll go ahead and erase that arrow, come back into the Load B button, and I'm going to go back into my favorites, and I'm going to pick another right-handed pitcher named Eric Curtis. Notice I can preview the thumbnail. I can even play that thumbnail if I wanted to make sure that's the video, and I know that is, and then I can press OK and load that video into the telestrator. Now if you notice, I can toggle back and forth between the A and B video. This B video, by the way, for you folks that use mobile devices from iPhones and Androids and any smartphone, this was taken with my iPhone from about 40 feet away. And albeit that you can't read the logo on the shorts, it certainly is clear enough for you to do some analysis. So if I wanted to talk about where Eric Curtis is when he's at the top of his delivery, again, I can draw that proverbial line to talk about his balance. Or as I suggested before, I'll come back in and erase that line, and I can use the keyframe element. There again shows you that he has already been keyframed. So I can say if I wanted to go to knee high, that's where we had originally locked knee high. There's ball down, and there's knee high. Now where it really gets interesting, and albeit that we're focusing on pitching today just for analysis purposes and demonstration, we do have the ability to put them in split screen mode. So if you notice, both of these two pitchers are at what we would call knee high. If we draw our attention down to the center of the video, you'll notice a lock button. That lock button, what that allows us to do is to lock the two videos together, and I can use the plus 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 button or the back button. Or, and again, before I move on, always being able to draw directly on both of the videos independently. If I wanted to talk about the angle here of his front leg versus Eric Curtis's front leg, I could draw additional comparisons just by using it as kind of a skeleton. If I came out of that and erased all that markup, let's go back and again use the keyframes that we've already built into the system. And if I really wanted to focus on where these guys were relative to their arm slot, I could put that position, center both of those pitchers up, and then I can again bring some sort of relevant feedback, whether it be I want to talk about arm angle and the ability to manage your internal external rotation. And even in this particular window, I can erase that and I can back it up just a little bit by using the minus button. And maybe I wanted to draw attention, I'm going to get the circle, to front arm position. So lots of different ways to use this. So I mentioned that we would talk a little bit about not just how to use the product, but the individual and group applications. One of the things that we have found to be very, very compelling is the ability to draw attention to things that are very basic and similar vein to what everybody would say, those are basics that have to be done by everybody. And what that really does then is open up the ability for you as an instructor to build a library of videos that you can distribute to your students or conduct live group lessons. So if we had 50 pitchers online right now, or 25 pitching coaches and 100 pitchers online, we would be able to probably demonstrate some things with these two pitchers that everybody would be able to get value from. What that does to you as the person running the batting cage or the academy, it allows you to monetize not only your investment in PowerChalk and motion analysis, but it allows you to start priming the pump for being able to use motion analysis for more than just individualized instruction. Now, I mentioned before, one other aspect that we felt was perhaps lagging in the motion analysis business, especially at the batting cage and academy level, was how are we treating and teaching our coaches? So I'm going to take this out of split screen, and I'm going to go up into the Load A button, the baseball diagram. So as I look at the baseball diagram, and I go to the B video, or the A video, excuse me, I notice I have a diagram. Now let's talk about how you could use this. Once again, this could be in your academy or batting cage, the brick and mortar, if you will, in the facility, and you could have 15, 20, 30, 100 coaches in a room, and you could have this being displayed on a screen in real time, and you could be talking about a situation that with one out and runners on first and second, and we could be talking about a single possible double into the right center field gap. So I can draw that out very easily. And now what I can do is I can either, again, if I had everybody in the room, I could sit there and say, hey, Bobby and Joe, I know you guys are ones who, you're the center fielder and you're the right fielder. What do you do in this particular situation? And Mike, you're the first baseman. What do you do? Or, again, this could be you, the coach, or you, the batting cage or academy coaching staff. You could be after hours or before hours, could be populating your student's locker or coach's locker with videos or diagrams that give them plays in advance of their practice. And then finally, again, as we mentioned, the ability to use the live screen sharing button that looks like a bullseye called PowerCast would literally be able to allow you to monetize this system with the coaches or players sitting in the comfort of their own living room. So now the rained out of practice, or if you wanted to be able to do a group session and didn't want to do it at 7 o'clock in the evening, which may be peak lesson time, this is something that you could be doing over the lunch hour. So you could literally come back in and finish this play out. And what we may say is that this base runner is going to be rounding third, this base runner is going to be rounding second, the hitter would be about here. We can go down to the bottom in the corner where the color is and change color, and we can all probably argue this point, but I would be anticipating there would be a throw to the plate. And in watching that throw to the plate, then we can again start teeing up the questions between you and your players or you and the coaches, that we know the first baseman's the cutoff man, the second baseman is here. Obviously, the first thing that would have to happen is the right fielder and center fielder would go after the baseball. Shortstop goes to the second base bag, third baseman to third, and the left fielder is probably going to vacillate between here and here based on what he hears the catcher call when he calls the cut or let it go. And there's your pitcher. Again, the pitcher would also be coming in this area here based on where the throw is. But if the throw's to the plate and the first baseman cuts it off and the call from the catcher is cut three or cut third, then we know that that left fielder needs to be right there in that position. So a great way for you to use this tool to not only demonstrate to players where they need to be, but even better sometimes is the ability to demonstrate to the coach how they can use this tool at their league level to better equip and better prepare themselves and players to execute on team fundamentals. We talked about revenue generation a little bit already, but let's focus back into that. A couple of different ways that we always believe the batting cage and the academy has a leg up on everybody is that you've already convened people in a room or come to a facility, and that's important. So you already have paying customers that are coming in, and what we believe PowerChalk allows you to do is to increase your rate that you charge existing students or new students for a lesson. You could certainly have one rate without motion analysis. We would probably tell you that the better way to do that is to just not even give it and make it an option, because we know the reaction that the players and coaches will have to the system after they use it. So whatever your lesson plan is, where you're bundling 4 or 5 or 6 lessons at a time, or even one, being able to leverage PowerChalk into the assortment so that you can not only pay for it but continue to make money is important. We talked about the group lessons, the group applications, and the remote applications for revenue generation. What else you have to choose from, and I'm going to go back in to the public video area, and I'm going to bring up another option to consider, is that a lot of you, when you are at the academy or the batting cage, you have a place where you can sell equipment, or you have someone taking orders for instruction. What we also have is a gift card program. So this would be a program that, again, for very little investment on your part and with some volume, you could use this as something that you could sell at the Academy. So for those people that were coming in, you would be able to sell them a gift card, and that may be someone who's coming in to use your facility and isn't taking lessons with you. Perhaps they're coming in and using your facility because they're playing in a tournament. And when you look at our gift cards, that scratch-off area, it's right here. Very simple to sign up. Use that promo code, and you're up and running. And again, you see on this card a retail price of $30, but we're doing we have agreements with batting cages all over the country where we can really drive that price down a lot based on the volume that you can bring to the table. We also have another subscription level, which is really our pro account, which basically when we talk about what level of account suits what player or coach, the $100 or $99.95 subscription that you can buy, which is 12 months of the very best that we have, maximum storage, split screen, dual screen, PowerCast, everything that you could possibly need to be a professional. We also have that in card form. So again, the ability for you to sell this as an inventory item at your batting cage or through your Academy program. If you have camps come in and you want to include this as a camp price, we can certainly do much better than the $100 per card based on your volume. Now I'm going to go back to the other card real quick, which is our 6-month $30 card, and point to something that we believe is also a marketing opportunity for you, again, for the batting cage or the Academy program, and that is as a fundraiser. If you were going to go out and market to a Little League organization or Babe Ruth program, USSSA program, whatever it is in your marketplace, what better way to incent them to have a warm and fuzzy feeling about your organization than if you were able to tee up a fundraiser where they would have the ability to raise anywhere from $10,000 to up in the 6 figures based on the size of the group. And if you're the one who's bringing that to them, I have to believe that leads people into your doors and starts the process of recruiting them to be paying customers at your cage or as a part of your Academy. So again, you could be the one that goes out and really becomes the good guy in your community by offering up these subscriptions as a fundraiser. And the way we do it is based on volume, is the ability for you to get a $30 card, and I'm going to use an example of a number. If there were 500 players, the ability for you to get a $30 card, and the commitment back to PowerChalk is $5 per card based on that 500 plus volume. And that way a kid could go out with 5 cards, or his dad, his mom, and he could go out and sell 5 cards for their league, and they could keep that money between what they charge and the $5. Easy example would be if they sold them for $15, then they would keep $10 per card as a fundraiser. And I think you can do the math that if each kid out of those 500 sells 5 cards, that's 2,500 cards at $10 a piece. That league just made $25,000, and you, the local batting cage or Academy, made that happen. So a great way for you to get out there and use PowerChalk as a marketing and public relations tool to drive value back to your batting cage or Academy. So I think that covers it for today. Again, hope this was helpful to you relative how to use the product. Again, we discussed how to drive individual and group applications by using the product. There's a real opportunity for all of you out there by embracing the coaches and talking more specifically about how you can raise their level of coaching, which, as we all know, is key to improving performance of the players. We want this to obviously be revenue positive for you, and again, we'd be glad to get on the phone with you over email and talk more candidly about how we can help you do that. And then I really believe something to consider is this opportunity for you to reach out using PowerChalk as an extension of your facility or your Academy as a fundraiser to leagues that you service. So I want to tell you how grateful we are for your participation today. And again, it's Matt West of PowerChalk. And if you'd like any information, you can go on to info@powerchalk.com. You can send us an email if you have any questions. The best thing for you to do right away, though, if you haven't already done it, is go ahead and sign up for your free account and go ahead and get started using it. And if you have any questions, let us know. Again, thank you for your consideration and have a great day.